Boomers because they all look like they're between the ages of 25 and younger. You know, they're trying to, from what people told me, they're trying to pay off their student loans by going to a life of crime, and I know whoever's into a new younger generation, you know, that's how you can keep your, you know, your product going, by trying to adapt and appeal to a younger generation so you can have more buyers to your product. But at the same time, you got to have a brand identity to your product, and the product has to be good in the first place. You know, you have to have a brand identity. And the Saints Row, it already established they have a brand identity to a certain extent. But, you know, the games from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4 is almost like night and day. You know, 3 was that bridge that bridged it to 4 when it went completely off rails. And, but yeah, look, you got titties, look, I got my girl in a thong, you know, I got my girl, you know, customized to like the Baroness with anime titties. You know, you get whacked out shit, you can basically, dang, I forgot how to get off of motorcycles. It's been a while since I played this game. Yeah, but I think they've been working on this other game for a couple of years now. You know, with the reboot, they've been working on it for a while. And, I think the thing that just rubs people the wrong way is just that how could they go this direction and have these dumb-looking characters that were completely taking the gang element out of it. And I think their biggest excuse was they were like, oh, those gays were why you messing with me, lady? Their whole excuse was those gays were the reflection of the time. Oh, I just hit her in the vagina and she just died. They were like, oh, we're past, it was a different era, a different time. It was like, in a sense, yes it was, until people lost their shit. And, you know, people on the internet, you gave too much to the crazies and the socially woke, you know, too much of a voice, to the point, you know, they started to, I don't know how they hijacked culture, but they just did. They hijacked culture. They were able to get into the comic book industry. They were able to get into the video game industry. I think the one thing they really didn't, well, they did kind of crash the music industry to a certain extent, but they weren't as crazy. But, you know, they invaded all terms of, you know, forms of entertainment. You know, Hollywood, well, they always been a part of Hollywood. But the fact they just infested, you know, all forms of entertainment, especially geek entertainment, that where things went shit sideways. And that's why you're getting a lot of this you know, bullshit and, you know, weirdos and shit in our forms of entertainment, because they feel this is what people like. But to be honest, people really don't care, you know, if shit is good. But right now we're starting to see the signs. We're starting to see how they infected everything, and it pisses them off when we call them out on their shit. Because to them, they think this is normal. They're trying to make it the new normal. They're trying to make it to where this is how things are going to be from now on. But I'm sorry, it's like my generation, you know, we're just about in our early middle ages, or middle ages. You know, we're still running a good chunk of the country. And don't get me wrong, you know, Generation X, my generations, we do have our share of crazies who like this shit, who support this shit, who buy into this shit. And but there's also a good chunk of my generation who say fuck those other people too, you know. It was like, my generation is very selfish, I'm not gonna lie. we had spoiled childhoods, but at the same time we were the last generation raised on some form of common sense. You know, we didn't have a lot of the tech and luxury that kids are growing up on now. You know, we were pre-internet era. You know, we didn't get internet till we were in our 20s, so it was like, okay, cool. You know, we spent half of our, you know, existence, a good chunk of our, you know, our young adult teenage years without internet. So it's like, when we did get it, we were responsible about it. We knew enough about the world and life to where, you know, we weren't completely invested into the internet. But with the shit going now, as far as Saints Row, I don't know. It was like people were trying to shield from it. I'm not trying to say it's going to be a bad game. It might actually be a good game. But the fact that, you know, they try to defend it, you know, they really didn't take kindly to the criticism, calling somebody who, you know, a customer and a fan of the series since day one, you know, basically called him a hater for calling out the shit he didn't like in the game. It's like, nah, you can't start shitting on the customer. You can't. You just can't. Not in this day and age. Now, if you would have just been nice about it, saying, you know, I understand, you know, your issues, you know, I'm happy that you've been a customer and supporting the game, the series, you know, for this long. We're going in a different direction. You know, I hope you as a fan, you know, as a customer will stick around, judge the game for what it is, and, you know, we'll see where things go from there. You know, I hope you like it. You know, we'll take your feedback and the criticisms, you know, into account. But this is the direction, you know, we're going for now. And I really hope that, you know, you'll give it a shot, you know, give us a shot. And, you know, they could have done that, you know, instead of trying to, you know, fight, you know, trying to debate with the, you know, the customer, trying to, you know, gaslight. It's like, come on, man, that is not cool. You don't do that. That is not cool. And I just blew up everybody. There's some very potent grenades there. Oh, yeah, I must have shot the driver. But, yeah, there's a lot of crazy, you know, stuff. It was like, that was the nail in the coffin. But I don't know, I saw this nail come in. It happened with Dead or Alive 6. With that game announcement, and the whole director talking about, oh, we're going to tone down the sexiness or whatever. And you know, when a game that is known for sex appeal and that stuff, when the director starts saying that shit, you know culture's going to hell. You know shit is not right. When the director of DOA 6, the game known for fan service, anime titties, you know, hot girls, hot guys, and, you know, ass kicking, and say, oh, we're going to turn some of that shit down. And then, you know, you see Saints Row do it. But listen, it was like, it does not surprise me. It was like, but I can see why the Saints Row community lost their shit. I lost my shit when DOA 6, you know, the director, he does that bullshit. So it's like, I can totally relate. And I do own 2, 3, and 4. I remember I played 1. I wasn't impressed with it. I really didn't care for the first Saints Row game. But I did enjoy 2, and I admit, even though I think I put in the most hours playing 3 just for the craziness off the wall of it, and plus, come on, my chick is hot. Look at this. Look at this. You know, you can make really hot, sexy chicks in this game. Graphically, Saints Row 2 is pretty ugly. It is, ain't gonna lie. It's ugly. My chick is almost like a dude. But Scope of the City is just a better game. But if you're going for eye candy, hijinks, I think better gunplay, Saints Row 3 is the better game. Saints Row 4 is just a slightly graphically better Saints Row 3 with superpowers and a much shorter game. Yeah, I'm just doing random shit, just do shit. Not even doing no story or whatever, because it would just take away my focus from talking about, you know, whatever topic I'm talking about. But yeah, Saints Row, I don't know, man. It's like, I gotta see what the character customization is. As long as I can make sexy hot chicks with anime titties, I'll be happy. I'm serious. I am easy to please. I am easy to please. And I know that's gonna rub some of the diehard fans the wrong way. That's perfectly fine. You know, I am not gonna argue with you. I am not gonna argue with no diehard Saints Row fan. It's like the thug life, the storyline, it's good. You know, I liked it. You know, you only got a small taste of it in the story mode of this one. You get a lot of it in Saints Row, and especially Saints 2. And it's a big part of the game, you know, a big part of the lore. And it's like, to have it now where you just introducing like these young millennial hipsters going through a life of crime, and none of them look like they went through no real hard life. You know, it look like a bunch of suburbans trying to go thug life, and it's like that doesn't work with a thing called Saints Row. It doesn't work. I can see where it could be sort of like a side story adventure. I could see where the story could be where these, you know, these young upstarts were like, yeah, they heard of these mystical gangs set it like in the futures later, and you can have it where a storyline where everybody's woke and woke is just normal, so they're like, you know what, we want to go somewhere and be badasses, you know. We, you know, remember, I don't know if you heard of the Saints, and you know, and about thug life, and but you know, you got this emasculated black character looking like a hella nerd, you know, black men. I don't know why they keep doing that with black characters, especially black male characters these days. They make them look like geeks and nerds and like unthreatening. They've been doing that in comics for like the past like 5 or 6 years. So it's like, I think Volition was totally, they lost touch. They lost touch with, they've been reading too many Marvel comics. They lost touch with their fan base, and they just decide, oh, we're going to take this license, we're going to do what we want with it, and whatever happens, happens. And you know, as an artist, you know, I can appreciate that, but at the same time, as a businessman, as a person that is in charge of a known brand.